Hello friends, just going for a ride today. Just talk about a couple of things. Recently, basically since I've owned this bike, every time I come home, I've got my garage door. I stop the bike outside, dig for the remote control in my pocket, turn it on, open the door, put the remote back in my pocket, put the bike in gear and drive in the garage. So I was looking for solutions of how to automatically open the door. And saw a bunch of different solutions online, most of which were, $80 to $100+ or required drilling a hole in my fairing to put in a switch. I just really wanted to go low budget and easy. One of the YouTube videos I watched said easy solution, and I turned it on and watched it, and it was required soldering wires, and I was like, okay, that's just too much. So what I did, since I have this navigation port and adapter here, I just took my garage door opener, double-sided tape, and put it right here. And it's solid, it won't come off unless I want it to. Can't really see it when you're sitting on the bike. And if you didn't know it was there, unless you really, looked at the bike closely, you probably wouldn't even notice it was there because this whole big unit is already here. So that's my solution. I just press the button. La la la, let there be light. So that's it. That's my quick, cheap solution. Of course, you might say, well, that's not waterproof, and it isn't. So, and I don't ride in the rain, but if I ever do get caught in the rain and it breaks this thing costs like $9. I also have two other ones in the house, so I can use one of those. But that was my cheap solution to the garage door opener. That's it. Now I'm going to head out, do a little ride, talk about some stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Catch you in a little bit. Before I take off, one of the problems I found a solution for was also a cheap one. I have wide hands but small fingers. I've got, I guess, baby Trump hands, you would say. So no matter what glove I buy, these are large, and they fit me this way. Mediums do not fit me this way. The fingers end up being too long, and they don't work when I'm trying to use, my phone or any of the gadgets up there on the bike. So I just cut off the finger on my right index finger, and then just wrapped a piece of black electrical tape around there. Works perfect. I can now use my finger to swipe and touch, on my phone when I'm doing GPS stuff, listening to music. I don't know. Another simple solution, cheap. Hello again, friends. Here we are. Just going to drive a little slow, hopefully, so the wind noise doesn't get too loud. It's a little bit windy today. A couple of things. Today during my work, I worked really early this morning and had a lot of work to do, so I took an extended lunch break and I watched a live stream with two moto vloggers, Doodle and Lali. It was interesting to get to know them a little better and listen to what they had to say. One of the things they talked about, or was they were asked by the audience, was how do they wash their bikes? And I thought that was interesting because that was one of those things that was you're just kind of left on your own unless you have a buddy that rides too and follow what they do. So what I do is, like, I don't ride in the rain, so my bike just gets a little dusty. It doesn't typically get too dirty. So probably about once a month I actually do wash it with soap and water and hose it down and all that good stuff. I just use, I think, a biodegradable soap because it goes down into our gutters and right into the waterway here in Austin, so I don't want to put any chemicals down there. So I do that like once a month, and then I don't know, every week or two I'll do when I get home, if the bike is a little dirty, I spray it down with distilled water. I buy a jug of distilled water, big gallon jug or whatever at the store. It's cheap, $1 or so. And distilled water doesn't have any minerals or anything in it, so when it dries, it shouldn't really leave any marks. But so I just spray it down, let it sit for a second, then I take a cloth, and I'll show you on a picture of. I just wipe the bike down, and that cloth helps agitate and get off any bug stuff. And then there's a little water streaking and whatnot, and I just wipe the bike down with a cloth, old t-shirt. It comes out fine. I mean, the only places I really can't clean by doing that is like the inside the engine and all the nooks and crannies. But I get all the major parts, the tank. Sometimes there's some smudge marks on the tank from my gloves or sweat or whatever. And the windscreen in the front of the bike. Those are the two areas that get dirty pretty quickly. So that's what I do. And then every single time I ride, when I get home, I spray down my helmet wind visor with distilled water, and also use the very soft cotton old t-shirt, wipe it off, get all the bugs and marks off. And my wind visor is in good shape. I've been doing that for 8 months with no issues at all. That's kind of what I do for my maintenance. I know there's all kinds of stuff out there you can spray in the bike and all that, so I don't know, what do you guys do? Any suggestions how you wash your bike? That's about it. And also tire pressure. I was interested to find out if I don't know if it's my tire, because this bike has an automatic tire pressure gauge that's linked up to here, so I can see what the tire pressure is. But it seems like every third time I go on a ride, I'm down 1 or 2 pounds on one or both of the tires, and the temperature is pretty consistent here especially over the last month or so. It's usually about 90 degrees, so I know tire pressure can change based on the temperature outside. So that's not a factor. So I'm not sure, like, if I have a slow leak or the tire pressure gauge is not functioning properly, or is that something common? Does that happen to you guys as well? Do you have to fill up your tires every third or fourth ride to get them back to spec where they're supposed to be? Don't know. Well, that's it for today's chit chat. I'm gonna go a little faster and enjoy my ride, and that's gonna create crap audio. So thanks for joining me. Ride safe, take care.